Okay, so next, build your management team. Maybe not right away, but after you've been at it for a while, you start to build a following. You can't do it all on your own. At first, you do have to do it all on your own. You have to be your own manager, your own accountant. But as you start to grow and your following gets bigger, you're busy working on your music, your songs. Try to find an experienced manager and do what he or she says. Don't just grab your buddy down the road that took a couple college courses and say, "Hey man, you want to be my manager?" Find somebody who knows what they're doing. There's books that list the music managers. Find an accountant or a bookkeeper, someone that can help you keep the books. Only keep one set of books. Guys who try to cheat keep two sets of books, one of what's really happening and one they show the IRS. Only keep one set of books. Big difference between an accountant and a bookkeeper. An accountant tries to do predictions. Okay, you made $50,000 this year. What do we have to do to make $100,000 next year? Where a bookkeeper just keeps track of things. These are the expenses. These are the incomes. Find a good tax professional. I would recommend just use H&R Block. I think they have a small business department. They can give you all the advice that you need. Usually, from what I've seen, H&R Block is local people. So try to find a good person that works at H&R Block that's been there a while. Just ask around. You'll be able to find the right person. Someone who has experience with corporate taxes. Find a lawyer. Just any lawyer won't do. You need an entertainment lawyer. And again, there's books that list all the entertainment lawyers. We'll go over that in future videos. How to contact the record companies. Okay, so next, once you've written a few songs, you start sending them to the record companies. How do you contact the record companies? Usually you go through an entertainment lawyer or like an agent. You normally don't contact the record companies on your own. In general, record companies don't like to deal with the artist because they know artists might be kind of off the wall. They'd rather deal with the lawyer or the agent. That's more business-like. Plus, you want to protect yourself. You go through the lawyer. The lawyer submits the tape or the CD to the record company. So then, if there's some type of copyright problem, it goes through the lawyers. It used to be you'd put a tape or a CD in an envelope and mail it to them. These days, I've heard, I think I just read just a few weeks ago that now it's all online. And you just submit an MP3. The companies expect an MP3. And I think the article I read said the record companies think it's kind of odd now if you submit a CD or tape. They expect to see an MP3. So I haven't really kept up on the details there. So that's something that we'll have to look into in future videos. Normally though, from what I've read, that's how we think it's supposed to be. How do I get my CD to the record company? I need them to listen to it. That's kind of the wrong way to think about it though. Most things that I've learned now is the best way to do it is to build your local following. Usually in like a tri-state area, 3-state area. And once you get about 10,000 fans, the record companies will come to you because they want to help you make it bigger. So that's the proper way to do it. The whole idea of a record company is that they'll take you national. You know, you're popular in the tri-state area, and then the record companies will take you national or even worldwide. These days, that's kind of changed though, right? Now we have iTunes, we have YouTube. You don't really need record companies anymore. Okay? So, you know, you're already doing your own thing. You've got your own management team, you bought your own equipment, you have your own trucks, you're moving your own equipment, you rent your own halls. Why do you need the record company? You know? I remember reading years ago the average artist only gets 3% of what you make. The record companies keep a big percentage. And even the top artists might be able to keep 5%. So that kind of sounds like a racket to me. Okay? So, and then I read a few years ago that in 2015, I think it was, only one artist made a profit. One. And to go along with that, I remember hearing years ago, or I read an article, when Garth Brooks was really popular, he was the only artist at that label that made a profit. He actually kept the whole record label in business while they're trying to get all these other acts popular so they can make money too. He was the only act that made a profit. And I read, it used to be record companies would give you the money to create your act, to go on the road, to have your concerts. If you didn't make a profit, they kind of ate it, right? Last I knew, they'll give you in advance, but if your CDs don't sell, you have to pay it back. Okay? I actually read an article by Guns N' Roses that said their first 2 records didn't sell. So when the 3rd record finally made some money, they had to pay back their losses on the first 2. And it's kind of hard to believe, but after Guns N' Roses had their 15 minutes, I actually read an article that Slash was back at home living with his mother. Kind of hard to believe, but I remember reading that article. Maybe that was by choice. That's where he wanted to be. You know. So these days, I would say, don't even bother with the record companies. You know, just go after iTunes and YouTube and do it yourself. You know. I just wanted to bring up what the popular award shows are, in case you're not aware of these things. The Grammys is the main music award, and it's usually like once a year. I think it's in the spring. You can go to Grammy.com. I think that's the main website. The main award would be the best song of the year. It's like the song and the lyrics, you know. I think they have to make it the top 10 to even be considered. And then the best record of the year is the other popular award. And that's more for like, it's the best song, but it's more like a recording end, best sounding song, you know. Where song of the year is like lyrics and content and things like that. So then, you know, there's probably 50 awards or more, best album and best rock, best rap, you know. And then the other popular award show is the American Music Awards, and I think that one's in the fall. Seems like one of them was in the spring and one of them was in the fall. It's usually same time every year. And then there's a World Music Awards. That's like the exotic music, lots of drumming and stuff like that. You know, like Country Music Awards are popular these days, and I think they actually have like 2 or 3 award shows. You know, CMAs, Country Music Awards, MTV Awards are always popular, and then I think VH1 has their own award show, or at least they used to. I haven't kept up, so. You can go to Billboard.com. That's where you can see all the charts, all the popular songs. So Billboard used to be a magazine. I'm not sure if they still have it in print. And then they started a website. And if you go to the charts tab here, best songs of the summer, Hot 100, Billboard 250, and then they have all the different categories. So it's nice to know what's going on in the business that you're working in. So. There's such a thing as a Grammy curse. Here's an article that I found on it. So I don't think it's a curse, you know, but I think it's more of they got a hit and they don't know how they did it, so they can't do it again. They just happen to get lucky with that song. And what I'm saying there is their songwriting skills. They don't really understand how they did it, you know, the hook, the melody, the timing. You know, you write a song, it has to be not the timing of the song itself, the music, but the timing of the song with society in general. You know, a song that got popular today may not get popular in 10 years because it's, you know, society's at a different time. So of course, you know, no one can tell what songs will be a hit. You know, it's the same thing with movies and sitcoms. You know, no one can tell what songs or movies are going to be a hit. You know, they just put a lot out there and hope they get a hit. You know, very few people have the golden touch. You know, they know how to pick a hit. You know, and even if they throw a lot of money at a band, the band still won't make it. You know, if it's not right, it's not right. So, one article I read years ago when Guns N' Roses went to the record company, they brought in a pile of songs, and the record guy found Sweet Child of Mine was at the bottom of the pile, and he actually told him, this is the hit here. So there are people out there that can pick the hits, but they're rare. If your songwriting skills are good, you have a better chance at making it in the business. If you aren't aware of what's going on, you probably don't even have a chance. You know, you're just randomly going on doing your own thing. There's a VHS tape that I think is pretty good. It's kind of old. It's called How to Get a Record Deal. This is what the box on the VHS tape looks like. I saw older tapes on Amazon for like $3, and I think there's a newer one out. It said updated for 2015 or 2016 or something like that. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but I would definitely get both of them. You know, try to get the older one here. There's a lot of good tips in it, and then get the newer one too.